visitors. Combat experiment in progress. Please put on your goggles and take your rad X.
Ah, it's a giant robot scorpion!
42 giant robo-scorpion is alive!
It looks like the rumors were true, all right. He's outnumbered. Then again, none of us is a giant robot scorpion, so maybe he's got us outnumbered. Well, Roxy's down. Now it's just you and me.
I've never fought a giant robot scorpion before. I don't know exactly how it works out.
I think it's weak to giant Mao.
It doesn't seem like it is. I think it's weak to giant laser gun.
Nice work.
I think we did it.
Yeah.
Yes, Dr. Mobius. Hey, come back. I'm not done with you yet.
Oh, hello there. You are there, aren't you? Forgive my confusion. So hard to tell these days. You seem familiar somehow. I'm guessing, you're here for your brain, perhaps? It's just up there. Such a nice brain, young, very bright. Little hard to see you. Can you walk into my left, right FOV cone?
Is that better?
Depth perception is a problem with this old monitor of mine. Went black a while ago. That's old age for you. Should look at getting the visual nerves reattached. It's just that the right eye would see the wrong things. The flying tortoises were the worst. Would you care for a mentat?
Thanks.
I have all sorts of amazingly science-terrific thoughts and ideas when those chalky talents are zipping through my biogel. I forget them all not long after, though, especially with the data constipating my memory core. Afraid binary streams might shoot out my chassis. Had to start using the dome floor and walls here to inscribe equations, although I've somewhat lost track of where they start and end.
This guy doesn't seem like the same guy who's been sending scorpions after us.
Yeah, you aren't exactly what I was expecting.
Really? That implies preconceived notions, theories, and a hypothesis about this meeting? Please extrapolate. What was I supposed to be like? After all, it might be worth a cognitive realignment if your theoretical Mobius is better than I.
I kinda need my brain back.
That's not why we're here. We killed your scorpion and we're gonna kill you.
Oh, intriguing. I've never been killed before. Although, after that time I got that phlegmy discharge in my biogel, I wished I had been.
Oh.
Well, if there's going to be killing, I defer to your expertise in this matter. How should we begin? Engineering viruses, cancerratic beams, atomics, electrocutioning? Or should I summon my minions?
I was just gonna smack you with the axe a couple times. Probably say something along the lines of, with a robot like you, I don't need hacks. I'll just hit you with my axe.
Mike, why couldn't we just have talked to him about stuff first?
Minions, to me!
Okay, that's kind of what I was expecting.
So, are we gonna fight this guy?
Yeah, now we have to kill him.
I certainly don't feel violent, but, well, these contraptions make it hard to tell.
I just need my brain back.
Do you? You seem fine without it. And does it even want to go back with you? Maybe you should ask it. It's quite independent, has all manner of opinions.
Well, that's weird.
Tell you what, I'll leave it up to your brain. If it wants to go, then fine. If not, well, you should respect its wishes.
Don't force things on your brain that your brain doesn't want.
Alright, I have many questions.
Oh, curiosity. I experience that less now that I know everything. Oh, maybe it was when I found out some unpleasant answers.
You don't seem aggressive, so why are you broadcasting threats to the think tank?
Oh, I was probably tripping hard on Psycho when I sent that. Had to work myself up to it. Not usually violent, except when I am. Then, watch out! So many chems, such varieties. Whenever I take Mentats, I can feel my entire chassis breathe like a big spherical lung.
Yep.
As for the Psycho, sometimes get the chem dispositories in my tank all switched up. Go in the wrong tube. Still, served its purpose.
Have you thought about swapping over to a different drug? I've heard good things about this hype.
Okay, why did you steal my brain?
You're really quite special, and not in the cranially challenged way.
Although that too.
You see, you are the most successful brain extraction experiment ever performed here at Big Mountain. A victim of your own success, as it were. If you were to go back with what your brain knows about the procedure, well, your brain could be popped back in and you could walk right out of here. Can't have brains moving around of their own volition.
Why is that a problem?
I'm not sure, except that I'm sure there's a very good reason for it. I have very good reasons for almost everything I do.
It sounds like you built the Robo-Scorpions and issued threats to keep the think tank occupied.
Did I? Maybe I did. Can't have them leaving. Some reason for it. Ethics or, conscience? They were my friends, but sometimes they would take things too far.
Well, yeah.
And the world isn't ready for that kind of too-far thing-taking. That's my professional opinion, anyway. And I am told I was once quite professional.
I kind of get what he's saying. Those brains in the other dome are kind of insane. Don't think I want them to be roaming around the world either.
Despite their many failings, they are rather bright. They are the think tank for a reason. Then you came along, the final variable solved. They saw that their world was larger than they perceived. Bacteria, finally able to see its host.
There were other visitors, so why am I different?
See, your brain had a special kind of wrinkle, a uniquity that they had never thought to try in all their countless escape attempts.
Like a bullet?
hole. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's the actual reason.
The only wrinkle is the one that bullet made going into my brain pan.
Bullets in the head are usually much more fatal, and yours was a light case of bullet headitis.
Light.
But it was enough for the autodock in the sink to change its programming to fix the problem. And the brain extraction technology for once worked. That gave the think tank the knowledge its brains couldn't possess. With that knowledge, the procedure can be reversed. If they obtain that procedural data, they can use it to mush and modify their cranial selves into hosts to slip past the radar fence. I'm sure of it. And once they're off the reservation...
So you set your threats on a loop to keep them occupied.
And then you forgot you made them.
Yes, I certainly wouldn't loop it on purpose. I am far too sophisticated to make such a childish error.
Okay.
But I don't understand why they wanted us to gather all this garbage.
All those technologies are needed to put a brain, your brain, back into its skull properly.
But the think tank downloaded the schematics, not the items. They can just make them again.
Oh, that means my plan is a total failure. That is unfortunate. Oh well, at least I tried.
You did. I guess there can be no success without trials and error.
Alright, well what's the purpose of the technologies?
The X2 antenna can be used to focus your alpha wave frequency thought patterns. The sneaky suit, why, it houses a cardiac regulator. And the sonic sound wave projecto-emitter was never intended as a weapon. It was a medicinal vertebrae pulse desensitizer. In short, brains, a heart, and courage. Spine. I think there was a story once where a band of murderous thugs sought these things.
I think so,
They
yeah.
had them all the time in the story. Didn't stop them from murdering to get them. And it won't stop the think tank either.
I think it was the movie You've Got Mail.
No, the movie was called The Wizard of Oz and the Group of People Who Wouldn't Stop Murdering.
I'm gonna go talk to my brain.
Please mind the equations on the floor.
I don't think he's a threat to anybody. I think he's just an old man. Oh, here we go.
That's a light, all right.
Is my brain in there?
There
it is. You get back in my head right now, mister.
Well, well, look who finally dragged themselves in out of the wasteland. And where have we been, Crawling through pits of radioactive muck again?
Your brain's kind of snarky, Zach.
Yeah, my brain's kind of a dick.
Well, that's a fine how do you do. Me, quote, dick, unquote. As if I'm the one responsible for the way you carry on gadding about the wastes. I'm not the one that makes us clamber around Technus-infested ancient vaults or go charging off to New Vegas on missions of ill-conceived revenge.
We haven't done that
Have we
yet.
forgotten who got us shot in the head and buried in a shallow grave? Do you think I enjoyed that little moment?
Of course you're responsible. You're my brain.
I most certainly am not. I'm the seat of all reason and logic in our little partnership. All those feelings that motivate you, that sense of righteousness and that rush you get when you help someone, do you know where those come from?
The thalamus?
Glands. They come from glands.
Yeah, the thalamus.
Free of the tyranny of your ape-like and primitive endocrine system, I can see how foolish your motives are.
I didn't realize that caused you so much distress.
Well, maybe next time you hear me telling you that charging a napkin with a penknife is a bad idea, you'll listen.
I only did that once.
That was a fun experience, wasn't that?
Don't you want to be back inside there? I thought you'd be happy.
It's like being buried alive.
I'm not going to lie to you. The prospect is definitely not that appealing. Look at it from my perspective. Here I have peace, quiet, and safety. Well, barring the odd rogue scorpion. In your head, I've got poison, radiation, grisly injuries, and biological functions. Do you know how much more you can get done when you're not constantly looking for places to urinate? It's quite a lot, I can tell you.
What about all the good things, like a cool breeze on your cheek, the smell of food, shotguns, waifus?
Overrated biological feedback. Believe me, you only feel that way because you've got all that meat. Oozing hormones.
You can't really believe that, Zach's brain.
I don't believe it. It's just a simple fact. One may as well believe the Earth is round or that the specific gravity of uranium is 18.9.
That's just like your opinion, man.
So what, you'd rather stay here, never leaving that tank of goop?
Well, certainly there might be some things I miss about being ambulatory. We have seen some incredible sights, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
Jason Bright and his followers launching into the vast unknown.
And then crashing.
Helios 1 coming back online.
And then blowing everything up.
Jason Bright and his followers launching into the vast unknown.
You said that one already.
Helios 1 coming back online.
He's stuck in a loop.
Jason Bright. Helios 1. Jason Bright. Helios 1. Jason
my brain's
Bright.
stuck in a
Helios
loop.
Zach, you
1,
broke your
Jason
brain.
Bright. Helios
How did this
1,
happen?
Jason Bright. Helios 1. Jason Bright. Jason. Helios. Jason Bright.
Cool, I can talk to my own brain. Can my heart and spine talk too?
Yes. Well, you do know that those particular organs don't have neurons and are thus incapable of speech. Yes?
I don't have a brain!
Very well. Let me put this in terms you'll understand.
Okay.
Brain,
Mhm.
smart.
Yes.
Heart,
Mhm.
stupid.
What?
Spine,
Uh-huh.
very stupid.
What?
You, exceptionally stupid.
Oh!
Does that explain the matter?
You talk big for someone who's got no mouth, smarty pants.
I have an inferior frontal gyrus wired directly into a speech synthesizing processor. Your heart can't be wired up to a thought synthesizing processor. You can't talk to it.
Fine, what about my spine then?
Ugh.
You seem awfully smart all of a sudden.
I've been bettering myself, I'll have you know. I've been reading. Actual literature, mind you. Not that La Fantôme or Tales of Chivalry drivel.
Don't forget Grognak.
I've been studying the classics, acquiring a solid grounding in medicine and the sciences. Also, I'm fairly certain this tank has been liberally salted with ground mentats.
Oh, all this smarty talk has hurt my head. Please stop.
Well, we certainly wouldn't want to strain your comprehension, would we?
I can see your point, so what can I do to make this a fair compromise?
If you want me back, we need to establish some ground rules. First, showers! Second, regular checkups. Regular, mind you, and from a reputable doctor. Third, you need to listen to me more than your hormonal choir and genitalian orchestra. Promise me that, and you've got a deal.
Well, you got a deal. Not really a shower if it's a bird bath.
Really? I didn't expect you to actually agree to that. I'm afraid that was a bit of a bluff, really. I'm not going with you.
What? Your brain outsmarted you.
What?
Your brain manipulated and lied to you.
Well, if you like being stuck in there so much, maybe I'll just leave you.
Oh no. Please, don't leave me here in this nice, safe dome where I have access to nutritive fluids and a fully indexed library.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Please don't deprive me of being dragged through a landscape so bleak it was actually improved by the end of the world. I don't know how I could bear it.
You just got burned, Nevada.
Look what happened to the think tank. You want to end up like them after a few hundred years stuck in a recursive loop?
It's true, the brains here have experienced some degree of deterioration. I'm confident that with a few decades of work, I can solve the problem.
You really think you're smarter than the think tank and Dr. Mobius combined?
Actually, yes. I do think that. I think that exact thing. All the time.
Damn. Your brain is so full of itself.
Why did you never say anything about how you felt before?
What did you think all those self-preservation instincts were? All those times you thought for a fleeting second, maybe I shouldn't punch that death claw in the face. That was me telling you exactly how I felt before!
I have done plenty of listening to self-preservation instincts to the point of leaving Mike behind to fend for himself. No, come on, let's go. We're getting out of here.
Ugh, crawl back in there? Are you mad? I don't know where you've been. For all I know, you're riddled with disease or packing one of those delightful head wounds you seem to attract.
That was once!
I'm not crawling back into your head just to ooze right back out again.
You don't have to crawl in. He's gonna shove you in there.
You're my brain and I'm your body. This is meant to be, baby.
Are you coming on to me? Sweet Lord, I don't even have the words for how repugnantly wrong that is.
Don't be like that, baby.
Please tell me we weren't that perverse when I was in your head.
Only when I needed to be.
Anyways, even if that was on the table, we have a problem. Even if I wanted to settle myself back in your skull and go to all the trouble of reconnecting nerve endings, Dr. Mobius doesn't have the tools here. We would have to make use of Dr. Klein's lab, and I rather doubt the brains are inclined to share.
Why? They promised to put us back together once I did what they wanted.
And you believe them? Really?
Kinda.
I know you were recently deprived of my fabulous advice, but... Really? Once I'm delivered into their clutches, they'll find a way past the radar fence and the whole Mojave will be their playground. And that is assuming, of course, that one of them doesn't take a fancy to our body and decide to slip his own brain into it instead.
Dala might just finger your folds for a while.
Ugh. Ah.
Come on, we have to go stop them and stuff.
We have to do no such thing. Just don't bring them the tools they need to get out.
That's one solution, but maybe there's others.
Until they fix me, I can't leave here either. And I gotta contend with robo-scorpions. And also a disturbing lack of attractive women.
I had overlooked that particular angle. Still, it's not so bad staying here, is it? We could be comfortable.
I'm not spending the rest of my life here when there's a whole world that I can be looting.
Ah, yes, there's that greed and general sense of malice. I'd nearly forgotten it. What's the plan, then?
I'll handle the brains. You stay here. You'll be more useful outside of my head, where I can't think things.
That arrangement suits me fine. Do try not to get too many holes drilled in your head, will you? I may want to drop by for sentimental reasons. Right then, you'd best be off, hadn't you? The think tank will be waiting. No, don't worry about me. When you're gone, I'll flush myself over to the sink. It's amazing how far you can get in this place with a good flush. I'll keep myself hidden in the ductwork. Klein won't suspect I'm inside the dome, so he won't know the pacification field no longer works on us. I can also upgrade the sink's autodock with the procedures to reinstall your heart and spine, assuming you want all that flesh and gristle back.
I kind of like the spine.
With any luck, I'll see you in the sink when this is all over.
Okay, bye!
Ah, damn it!
Oh, I see you and your brain reached a compromise. How pleasant. I hypothesized after the indignant frequencies my receptors had recepted, such a partnership-based conclusion would be low on the likely scale.
So I'm not really entirely sure what kind of compromise my brain and I reached, because he's smarter than me. Anyway, the think tank needs to be stopped, so can you help?
If I recall, I had a plan that was working, whatever it was. I don't think it reached fruition. I would recall fruit if it had happened. I wasn't trying to kill them, just keep them out of trouble. What was that plan? Blast. I probably wrote it down on the floor somewhere.
We're hoping for specifics. Tactics we could use to attack the think tank, maybe?
Yeah, what was that plan you had?
Something ingenious and needlessly complicated, I expect. I may have already told you and forgotten it. I forgot I had forgotten pencils until one day I found one. Spent days studying its purpose before my memory circuit kicked in. Felt quite silly.
Anything I could use to stop them that doesn't require violence?
Well, you could try and appeal to their humanity. That's a tired cliche. And really, when they were humans, they weren't very good humans.
Yeah, I kind of figured that out. I guess I'll try to make the effort.
Well, there's many things they have forgotten, sitting in their bowls. Friendship, the thrill of discovery, love, masturbation, the usual. Much like your brain, I am certain there is something you can spark within each of them. Memories, hormones. And if you are partial to lying and deception, well, you could tell them a ludicrous lie. The more over the top, the better. That's my experience.
I could
They're
lie.
more than a little gullible. Better make it convincing, though, or it'll be the dissection table and vivisectors for you.
Time for us to go do that thing.
All right, let's go kill the think tank.
My brain's an asshole.
Well, if it isn't Zach coming back to put me into his skull, you're gonna put me back in your head, but you're not gonna jump off cliffs anymore. That's correct, isn't it?
Hey, look, a cliff.
We agreed? No!
My legs are broken.
I regret everything.
Hello.
You're looking awfully red today.
The lobotomite returns. Our lobotomite. Has Dr. Mobius been denominated into scrap metal and voice module parts, as we hoped?
I found my brain, and now you and I need to settle some things.
I recommend watching your tone with me, lobotomite. Now, your brain. Hand it over, or we'll extract it again.
There's some things we need to discuss first. And I'm not handing my brain over.
And what could we possibly have to speak about? You have the brain, we have the technology. All you must do is surrender. With it, we can finally leave this place. I cannot tell you how boring this place gets, chopping up the landscape and everything in it. And we have so many questions to ask your brain first. About this Mojave place. A fertile testing ground for our experiments.
No, don't experiment in the Mojave.
Maybe you should confer with your colleagues first.
Nonsense. Confer, colleagues. Those are two words I do not recognize.
Dr. Klein, I must intersect. Please, do not harm the lobotomite.
I'm not going to harm it. I'm going to dissect it until it's dead. Why the sudden intersection, Dalla?
Tell him, Dalla.
I cannot stand a sweet breathing organism.
That's me!
Breathing in and out to suddenly not breathe. We must keep it alive. For study.
I love to breathe!
Slow study.
Oh, yes.
Gala, these vocalized pauses are unlike you. What do you care?
Fine. Are you sure we've calculated all the combat probabilities here? I mean, the lobotomite confronted Mobius. Plus, you know, we haven't had a COMBAT drill in forever. I don't think we could form a tactical attack triangle if we wanted to.
Releasing the WOMBAT was not my plan,
Combat?
Oh, so get off my voice box.
Silencing opinionators.
Why are you acting like this? You've never refused to commit necessary surgery before.
Yeah, 'cause eight's cool.
And this lobotomite needs its surgery.
If I may, I feel as if I must be the voice of reason here.
Oh boy.
This lobotomite is much like us. Regarding even animals and pets as nothing more than avenues to promote science.
Yeah.
There is good here. Instead of ending its life on the table, we should prolong its suffering in the name of science.
Yeah.
Like good old Gabe, the finest of lab specimens.
Why am I even listening to you fools? Enough of this mutinous chorus. If there's a word I hate, it's mutiny. And the word jism, which never made any sense to me.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous putting j and zm together like that. Nonsense! I count as 5, like the mighty human hand I once had, with its 5 penises clenched in a fist.
Penis fingers. Mobius and I have talked it over, and we've reached an understanding.
You are lying.
No, he's
Nope.
truthing.
No, you are not. Your heartbeat, perspiration, all excessively confident and sure of yourself.
Yeah.
Why would you reason with that maniac? He'll destroy us all.
You may have noticed that the pacification field is down, so you might want to put your threats down as well.
I've never been in a fight. What do I... Colleagues! Think tank! Alert! Alert! We are under attack!
We didn't say we were gonna attack you.
Yeah, that was a vague threat.
Yes, and the only one surrendering here is you.
Yeah, it's you.
That's no deal at all. There's a whole world beyond the crater, filled with ideas and possibilities. We could have escaped, seen it all for ourselves, tested it, prodded at it, made it squirm.
Wait. I can bring the Mojave to you. Yeah, I can bring stuff to him.
I guess that'll work.
I have a strange sensation that I would like that. How odd. Very well, partner. The think tank is at your service as long as you do not destroy us.
Yay, peaceful agreement. And we didn't have to kill anyone except 100 scorpions.
Yep, but those scorpions are pointless anyway.
Yeah, high five. Woo!
Ouch! Oh yeah!
Thanks, Light Switch.
All right, we're done. We're done. We're done. You can stop. Okay, I get it. We're done, Jefferson. This is not canon. I get my brain back.
And are those penises I see wriggling on its feet?
I don't recall the human penis ever being that large.
It depends on one's own frame of reference, Dr. O.
Great. Now the penis on its hand is achieving erection.